Everyone tried to come for Porsha, and Porsha was having none of it.
You were in LA, and yes, you were in a hotel with him.
What are you talking about?
Yes, we don't know what I'm talking about. Well, you apologize, and now you want me to sit here and say you didn't damage me. You did. I had an abdominal contusion.
I'm not saying you. I don't lie on my bag to make some change.
Yes,
okay?
you do. Actually, a
Cynthia
small piece of change. Maybe you should get a dry piece of change instead of a wet piece of change in that ditch. Anyway.
Gonna add one more sugar the way this reunion just went. Hey guys, it is Murad Murali, and let's get into this second part reunion, which was just, if not easier to dissect and analyze than the first one. There was so much going on here, far more storylines to jump into, and I cannot wait to get into it. First and foremost, I'm wearing a Nike hyper warm tight fit top, which is ideal for running and to keep you warm, along with tech fleece trousers and neck-on shoes, which are ideal for the gym. But this is my outfit for today. Let's go over first and foremost the whole Porsha and Cynthia event that these guys are rehashing over.
When we brought up best friend, it was kind of like a joke, and then I said it, and it hit her in a disrespectful way. That's how she took it.
And the rehashing of the event with the whole Cynthia and Porsha fight, and they went through it, and they both apologized for each other. They're both aware of what they did, especially Porsha. She said that she's responsible for her actions, which I'm happy for her to be saying. Cynthia, you're the one in the wrong. Cynthia is the one in the wrong in this situation, I feel, because she was tripping over a word that she did not to be tripping over. Porsha wanted to make her know that the reason why she kicked her was because she grabbed her wrists.
So Cynthia likes to talk with her hands. So then I did it back to her. She didn't like it. She caught my wrist. And after my wrist was caught, that's when I got up.
Here we have Miss Kenya Moore stirring as she usually does, stirring the pot.
Ed, you don't want me to get up, because it's going to be something different if I get up.
So what? You have threatened every girl on this stage.
Talking about, I was scared about Porsha when she said that, you don't want me to take up my seat. I'm thinking, Kenya, shut up, because you've been talking nonsense. And I'm happy that Porsha just told her to hush, because Kenya wants to add these side comments constantly for no damn reason, and then she gets checked. I'm happy Porsha checked it today, because Kenya needed it. She deserved it, because she was running loose. Kenya Moore was running loose in the first part of the reunion, and she got away with it very nicely. She shouldn't have. Phaedra should have put her in her place. However, she did. She got in with those edgeway comments. And throughout all of this, Kim Fields was quite silent. She was quite quiet. She was sitting there observing, smiling. I'm thinking, okay, so you've done your part in reunion part one. Let's see what you've got to offer. However, she was quite quiet and dormant throughout this part of the reunion, which I found very interesting. I'm tired of Kenya stirring the pot. I'm tired of this girl always sidetracking and adding her 20 cents to conversations that do not involve her. I'm trying to come into the whole dig with the whole Porsha fighting with her assistant. Now, I don't know about that story. I've never heard of it. I've only heard it here and there on social media. If it's true, apparently it is true, and we all know that Porsha has problems when it comes to anger, and that she needs to, I've said it many times, that she needs to enter anger management classes to sort out anger problems, because this will lead her down a hole. Here we have Porsha just came back with the one African prince. Now, I've talked about this in a little exclusive, but I want to get into it again just for you guys who didn't see it. Kenya got exposed.
Absolutely. Who is married, honey. He's a preacher, honey.
The one-eyed African.
Pastor with his wife. Honey, you shut up.
For filth that she is. Kenya got exposed. This one African prince, and she was struggling. She panicked. I had no idea that Porsha knew this. And let me address to you that Porsha knows a lot of the tea about a lot of the housewives, and I'm shocked about this whole one African prince, because this goes to show that Kenya is not as loyal to Matthew, and that maybe she's playing around with other guys, maybe because he's a prince and the whole royalty line thing, and maybe she's attracted to him because of the name. That might be the case. Or maybe this is just a fake rumor and Kenya is just loyal to Matthew. I think personally myself, and what I'm viewing, that she is loyal to Matthew because she wants a kid, she got a house, everything. She's moving fast through all the steps. However, if she's playing with this man, then I'm not surprised, because we know that Kenya has a bad track record. This is what all the ladies are forgetting, and I want to lead into another point. I want to jump to the end of the reunion where they're talking about the whole fight and the guy went crazy and Candy's tripping. Now, before I get into this, I want to let you guys know that Candy's pissing me off.
Regardless of whether she should have said anything else as he was walking out the door, he should never have aggressively turned around,
because this girl wants to be playing Miss Queen Bee on the reunion, but throughout the whole damn season, she's Miss Plain Jane. Progressing your vocals or exerting any influence or talking about problems that you strongly feel about. None of this. But now you want to be shouting from the rooftops. I don't understand what game you're playing, Candy, but it's very annoying. And this season you've annoyed me. And seeing you in the reunion, I thought you'd redeem yourself, but you're annoying me even more, and it's very irritating because you're one of my favourite characters. But she's trying to defend Kenya, saying, even though Kenya did this, the man has no right. She's right. The man has no right to harm anyone, not even a guy, girl, whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to re-influence what Porsha and Phaedra are saying. She did not have to go to the man and run up to him and said, "Oh, you can't be here, you can't be here." You would have gone to the security guards. The security guards would have taken him, and then bam, the guy would have gone, had a little bit of trouble with the security guards, but that's really it.
Tammy was standing there telling him, "You have to leave," and all of a sudden, Kenya walks up like, "Yeah, you gotta go." Well, then it just...
That's not what happened.
You know,
you had to add your 20 cents to this conversation, heighten up the tension even more, and that's what happened. And then you try and play the victim, saying, "Oh, they're all trying to come for me, victimize me." The reason why people are trying to come for you, or the reason people think you're in the bad or that you exert influence on nonsense situations, is because of your track record, number one. Number two, because you are the wrong Kenya, and I'm tired of your shenanigans, and I'm happy that, as I said in this title, that Porsha has checked everyone nicely, because they're trying to come for her for no reason. They had to jump to this end thing because Candy's got it twisted, and then she was like, "Y'all biting your tongues now?"
Why y'all biting y'all tongue now?
And I'm thinking, listen, if I was there at this reunion, I would have got Candy and her weird side parting fixed very quickly, because we all know Kenya was in the wrong. She did not have to run up to the man, but I've talked about this in the episode review many moons ago, so I'm not going to talk about it again. I'm not going to go into it. We're going to talk about the reunion. But all I'm saying is Candy is tripping, she's pissing me off, and Kenya's trying to play the whole victim, but it's not really working because we can see through you. We can see through you and your contact lenses, Kenya, so don't try it, please. This tea is good. Then we got the whole Kenya and my mother storyline they want to rehash over.
It's the heartbreak that you suffered at your mom's door. I wonder if the cameras hadn't been there, if things might have been different.
They're talking about how Andy was throwing a little bit of shade, a little bit, I sensed it, and he said that would it act differently if the cameras weren't there, and Kenya said no. I'm thinking, really, Kenya? If the cameras weren't there, you wouldn't even gone to her door. I don't think you would. I know you've had trouble with your mother, but you have to understand, and it's very hard to understand. I know that I'm saying this because I'm not in this position, but being in this position is very hard for you, Kenya, but you have to understand that she does not want to raise you, therefore she gave you up when you were very, very young. You did not form an attachment with her right from the beginning. So therefore, it's not as if you had an attachment with her and then she just left you during your mid-years. She did not know you from the beginning. Because her mother raised her children, of course, but she couldn't, maybe because of the environment or the fact that she didn't have enough utilities or whatever the reason is. At the end of the day, you milked the storyline because you didn't have anything going on for you within the season. Because throughout this whole season, all you've done is stir. So you thought you add this mother storyline so people feel sympathy for you. There's no sympathy for you, Kenya, because like I said before, I can see through you, and I know that you push a storyline to gain some sympathy votes. Nothing came your way. You cannot stress the word delicate onto TV and act like you're the victim, running up to her door, knocking, and the camera's around. I'm thinking, this is foolish. This is absolutely foolish. This can potentially show that you probably don't want a relationship with your mother, and that you're just doing it to play the game, play the characters, play it because you're thinking, "Oh, well, my mother doesn't want me, so let me just play the whole, oh, my mother doesn't want me storyline so we can just see what I get from it." That's what it came across as me. And you're trying to play the whole victim, and the girls are not going to say anything because it's a very delicate problem to deal with, and I do feel sorry for the situation that she has. And Porsha does have a point that she may come across different, that we don't see the kind side to her, maybe because her mother never loved her. Then Kenya talks about, my father loved me a lot, but let me tell you now, Kenya, a father's love is very, very different to a mother's love. A mother's love is central and very important to have. A father's love is very important too, but you cannot compare a mother's love to a father's. No shade to the fathers out there, including me when I become a father, maybe, I don't know. But I'm just saying, no shade to the fathers out there, but the mother's love is far, far more important, and we know that from our own moms as well. So you can't really compare the two. But what I'm saying is, Kenya tried to play the victim. Porsha was having none of it. She kept interjecting, called her a big bully, told her to shut up. I'm thinking, Porsha, you better get in there because Phaedra's not doing it this time.
and so do you. Don't pull a grown woman's chair, you big bully.
You've been
You
into
big bully.
And I'm happy that you have. I'm thirsty today with these storylines. Peter and Cynthia. This was a problem, and Porsha was involved.
You would open what you know about my marriage.
Don't push me.
Yeah, please, I'm
Don't-
pushing you.
don't
I
push
am
me.
so pushing you
Because
right
I
now.
have been disrespected
Please.
by your wife.
Now, personally, from what I'm hearing about them being in different cities, I do believe that Peter and Cynthia are probably separated. Things are not going down the road that they want them to go down, and I do feel sorry for them living in different cities, and Porsha knows the low down. Her tea is good. Listen, when she was spreading the tea, I was thinking, you better spill it all.
It's all over the internet about Peter and his women.
Why are you driving over here in your Rolls Royce, girl?
Walk up to any girl that's 19 years old.
Apparently, he's been opening his arms to any 19-year-old girls, how he pays his waitresses. This is absolutely ridiculous. It can be seen plausible because I can understand if you're living apart very far and you hardly see each other, that Peter might be playing some games, maybe, and he's trying to force Porsha saying, I wish you would. I'm thinking, Peter, you're not bad. Because if she comes up with these rumours, it only looks bad on you. It won't look bad on her, it'll look bad on you more than anyone. So you better shut your mouth, even if the rumours are not true. Don't talk nonsense and allow people to talk nonsense about you. Like, I don't understand why you're acting like a big man. I don't really like Peter personally myself, I don't really have since he came onto the show, because Peter is very stubborn, he irritates me a lot, and he thinks he knows it all, but he doesn't.
All these women that I'm sleeping with, please put it out there. Throw me under the bus, run my ass over 10 times.
That video was messy as hell, and it clearly does show that Peter does not really care about what the world thinks about their marriage, because it's just all he thinks about is, oh, me and her, good is fine. But you need to understand how you're coming across. This is what Peter is failing to address when it comes to the formality of his character within the show. He does not understand how he comes across, and he needs to level himself and rewatch the show and realize that some of the things he's saying, although they might not go down the right intention that he wants to, it comes across to us that he's cheating around. And that if he is, I am going to be surprised. But Porsha knows a lowdown, and Porsha and Cynthia get into a little argument.
Why did you drive him over here in your Rolls Royce, girl?
I don't have to go on the internet to find out
Why
about
did you
your
bring him over
husband.
here with you?
I'm thinking, Cynthia, you tried it, because this reunion, you tried it. You're acting so childish, talking about the whole fight thing, and then you're talking about the whole Rolls Royce. I don't know what the hell. There was so much tea in this episode. I didn't have enough sugar. I didn't have enough tea for this episode. Portia making horrible remarks about your husband. Yes, and I do feel like you need to defend him at the same time because you're there with him. But if you guys are not living together, assess the circumstances and assess how this comes across to people. And these rumors, you need to address them with your husband. Maybe I can say that Porsha just spilled all the tea from the one African prince to the whole idea of Porsha and Cynthia and these men. Porsha spilled it all, and she defended herself at the same time.
Talk about the one you tuck every day before you come to work, bitch.
Because normally people who spill rumors, they just spill them and watch people argue, or people come for the person who spills rumors, but she spilled them and she defended herself at the same time. This girl, Porsha, is growing on the show. But Phaedra got in there, and I'm happy she did, because when she did get in there and when she did check Kenya, it reminded me, it gave me highlights of how she did back a few seasons ago in the reunions.
Like that boy?
You didn't like it? Girl, bye.
I did.
You wanted him and he didn't want you.
Yeah.
You wanted him and he didn't want you.
Oh, shut.
And I'm happy that Phaedra has. I feel that she needs to. And when she talked about the whole man situation, the fact that Kenya was trying to play the victim, the whole man was violent, and Phaedra was like, didn't you bring the man in? Oh, you liked him. And I'm thinking, yes, you better get in there and you better tell them facts. You better become the pastor that you are, Phaedra, and preach these facts, because Kenya is suffering from Alzheimer's disease and she has somewhat forgotten the nonsense acts that she has been doing throughout the season, and this is why people are coming for her. Oh, I don't know how people come for me, they're trying to play in this role. You have a bad track record and you're doing nonsense, stupid things. That's why, Kenya. And I know that you're aware of what you're doing. You're doing to play up to the cameras. Want to be New York Part 2. We ain't going to be in New York Part 2. You're going to be Dustbin Part 2, because that's where you belong. And I'm tired of your antique ways. I am tired, Kenya. I could sleep right now. I'm tired. She's been very dormant and quiet when it comes to people attacking her. She's just silent and staring at them. I'm thinking, come on, Phaedra, you can say something. I want you to just fight back and defend yourself. She hasn't this reunion, but she finally got into it with Kenya. And later on, she gets very emotional when it comes to her kid, and I do feel sorry for her.
Every time I talk about this, I cry. My relationship is special with both of my boys.
I just felt sorry because Aiden is a very cute baby.
Mommy,
Yes, baby.
why are you here?
Why am I here?
And I'm thinking to myself, whew, I do feel sorry for you, man. Like your kid, that when he said that I want to be a little baby, I'm thinking this is very complex problem when it comes to the whole Apollo thing and people talking about it. And Phaedra also got into it and gave a dig at Candy. I'm thinking, yes, Phaedra, you're throwing shade again, you're throwing them digs at Kenya and Candy, you're fighting back from what happened in the first part reunion.
That's behind me, so everyone can stay out of that and stop asking questions about it and having their opinions about what I should do when they don't pay any of my bills and they don't even check on my kids.
You threw it at Kenya, now you're throwing it at Candy as well, about them talking about your kids, about talking about them not seeing them enough at the prison. I'm thinking, I can understand where you're coming from. It's very complex when it comes to all these different problems of the marriage problems, and you have the ladies talking about you as well, and then you've got the kid problems as well, and they talk about Sheree pulling Kim's wig.
Get your hands off of me, bitch!
No, Andy.
Okay.
It was a wig shift.
Okay, it was a big shift.
I'm thinking it was funny, but the real reason why I'm bringing that up, Andy, is because Sheree has no storyline, even as she's a friend. She's just there because she's an OG, and she's just sitting there tightly. And yet again, I'm upset because I expressed these concerns on the first part reunion that I want Sheree to get into it with someone at the reunion, but she did not. She's just sitting there observing all the tea, adding her side comments when she needs to, but that's really it. Now I understand, Sheree, you're a friend, therefore you're not really into main arguments with people, but apart from you and Kenny at the beginning, which you should have gone over properly, but you didn't. But I'm upset that Sheree isn't getting into any arguments or getting into any tension with people, because I want to see the old Sheree back. This reunion was very, very interesting to dissect and analyze, because there were a lot of different, not just storylines, but themes running through as well. Kenya and Phaedra and Kenya and Porsha will never ever get along. Candy just running her mouth, and I'm tired because this girl's always running her mouth to the bank, but today she's running her mouth to these girls, and I'm thinking, yes, you know you want to defend Kenya, I know you want to be real all the time, because that's what you are, but it's just annoying now, and your mouth, I don't know where it's come from, because throughout the season you were misplaying Jane, but today you want to be talking nonsense. Cynthia's acting very childish, the whole Cynthia and Pia problems, because we all know it's going to go down there, they're going to go down the drain, their marriage is not really going anywhere. We have Phaedra getting emotional with the whole kids situation, and Kenya and Phaedra get into it, because I'm just tired of Kenya. She wants to be the flipping victim every damn day, talking about, oh, the man came in, and Sheree had to just catch her, but didn't you write the man there? I'm like, yeah, you better, Sheree and Phaedra, you better check this fool, because it's about time. And I'm happy that Porsha just checked her. I'm happy that Kenya got checked, because in the first reunion she was running things, and I said it before, but Porsha just said, no, I've had enough, let me get into it, and she did. Porsha just let them all know. I'm a big fan of Porsha, because I think she's improving and progressing after every season. I enjoyed this reunion thoroughly because of the lot of different storylines to jump into, a lot of different complex ones. And what I liked about this reunion was that those storylines that weren't really addressed in the season, those potential new stuff to talk about. It wasn't just rehashing of events that occurred, but new stuff going on as well, with the whole One African Prince, Peter and his playing with waitresses. There's just so much tea, it's mad. But I thought, let me get into this one. Hope you guys enjoyed my review thoroughly, and appreciation to anyone who's commenting, subscribing. Like, I appreciate it so much. Follow me on Instagram, you already know what it is, Murad_Morali. I upload daily images that I wear of outfits related to men's fashion wear every single damn day. There's always something new to check out on my Instagram every single day. And I relay that all to my website, www.muradmorali.com, all down below. So please go check that out. Go follow me on Instagram, please. I would appreciate it a lot. This was my review of this reunion, and it was a messy one. If I find any exclusives of the next part, I will throw it at you guys, as I have done with the first part, as soon as possible. Phaedra has the best lines, like this one. When she said, if your water's from your own grass, you wouldn't know what mine looks like. Preach, Pastor Phaedra. Preach and get them together. So these are my 20 cents of the conversation that everyone's having, because this reunion review was mad. Hope you guys enjoyed my little reunion review, and have a great day.